a school year just getting underway, the family home has never been busier, and it all seems to centre around the kitchen and dining areas. I've had a request from the Canatelli family who'd like some help to get a study space organised so everything else can run just that little bit more smoothly. Morning all.
Morning.
Hey.
Bought the treats.
Oh, thank you.
Gosh, look at you all. You're so busy, aren't you?
We are. This is a typical morning. Two on their way to school, but trying to do some project work, and Jordan off to university.
You wrote to me, you said you need to get everything sorted.
This is generally everyone's workstation.
So, homework, I presume we're doing crafts, we've got projects on the go.
He has his own office, but the kids are always in there using it, the printer and interrupting.
It can be a challenge, but yeah, we're trying to just move on with it.
It's hard at dinner time, I presume, 'cause
Yeah.
you've got to pack
Pack
everyone
it all
up.
You often find we might be eating on the bench because
Yeah.
these guys are trying to finish something.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we really need to create one room that serves many purposes, don't we? Something for all of you.
Yeah.
That'd be ideal.
Okay, what's going on with the one room that you've set aside for this?
We ran out of money.
It's a mini rumpus room almost, yeah. So Jordan plays some music in there and it can certainly be utilised.
All right, well, you guys carry on with your day. I'm going to get busy.
Awesome.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Let's go, mate. Off to school.
Oh, okay. I can see what they mean. Bit of a dumping ground. It's a good size. Oh, bonus. We've got a loo. Even got a sink. Now, that's going to be fantastic for Olive's craft. They just need a bit of organisation, but you know what? I think with a few shelves and a few handy cupboards, this place is going to scrub up a treat. For a young family to get organised, well, you really do need budget-friendly furniture and furniture that's flexible so you can really suit the space that you're working within. Now, for these guys, I've shopped IKEA. I've got cabinets, I've got desks, I've even got a set of drawers for each of the kids. That way there'll be no arguments. How good is it that all of these drawer runners come pre-attached? It's saved me a lot of work. Those clever Swedes, these really are easy to put together, and I like how the drawers are different sizes, just gives you options. Finally, I can ride a skateboard. Sometimes you just gotta improvise. By attaching a leg in the middle of this long bench top, it not only acts as support in the middle, but it also helps to divide the space. By combining drawers and bench tops in different lengths, you can easily create your very own bespoke space at a very low cost. When you're sitting at a desk for any period of time, I think it's so important to have a super comfy chair. This one I like. It's got a modern design. It's padded on the seat as well as the back. Probably more importantly, because of Olive and Lewis doing their school projects, the seat pads are wipeable, so it's practical too. And as always, with any flat pack furniture, easy to put together. I love these chairs. The wheels are actually incredibly clever. When you sit on them, they slide around super easily, but the minute you get up and take the weight off, the wheels actually lock in position. There's no way this chair can slide and slip out from under the kids. These cabinets, well, they come with legs, but you also have the option to add brackets so they can be wall mounted. Now, they come in different sizes and different widths, so I've been able to just stagger them a little. It just gives me full scope. I can use this whole section of the wall, and having these recessed slightly back just means that no one's going to bump their heads. Looking good, just needs some colour. That's where the doors come in. Look at that, nice splash of colour. Let's not forget the plastic. Good to leave the film on until the job's almost done. That way you'll protect the finish. This storage system is pretty cool because all of the accessories are made to fit perfectly within these cabinets. I'm figuring that Lisa and Louie will probably need all of their paperwork up here, but if the kids do need to access the upper shelves, all they'll need to do is grab this little step stool. It's got the grip tape on top, so they can jump up here and grab what they need. Everyone's happy. My work here is done. Let's see what they think. Ooh!
Oh, holy
Come in here.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
What do you think?
Good.
It just looks bigger.
Very cool. Love the colour scheme.
You had all the bones.
Yeah.
All we needed
Yeah.
to do was just add the organisation.
Yeah.
So having these cabinets in and being able to make them, you know, work for you, I think is really good. The kids, you've got your own set of drawers each, one for
Yep.
Olive, one for Lewis.
Yep.
We've got storage within the storage, if you
Uh-huh.
like, again, so this will get you
Perfect.
organised.
And look at those hymnboards.
Yeah, that's so good.
So this is Jordan's space.
This
He's
is
gonna
Jordan's
love
complete
that.
space. So we've really set him
Wow.
up as zones. This is his own set of drawers, study
Magic.
desk. What do you think? Do you love it?
Yes.
Yes? Happy?
Yeah, very.
Which is your spot, Lou?
That.
That one? It's a big space compared to what we're used to. We're all going to fit in here, I think. Thank you.
Enjoy the
You've been
space,
great.
kids.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure.
very much.
Absolute pleasure. Enjoy.
We're helping Belinda and James transform this old house inside and out. I'm taking on the backyard, and what a monster. Well, I've got to say, there's quite a few decades of neglect happening here, Belinda, isn't it? It's amazing. How did this all come about?
Our understanding is the previous owner was an elderly lady, and she looked after her elderly invalid brother.
Oh, really?
But I think in the early days, she probably did have time to get out in the garden because there seems to be a few really good plants hidden just under a whole lot of mess and weeds and stuff.
But by golly, there's a few weeds, a bit of privet. Jasmine here's taking over the place, and this giant radiata pine has taken over a lot of the garden. But it's a great sized block, isn't it?
Beautiful size, yeah. It's got lots of space for the kids to run around.
OK, well, I better get my sleeves rolled up and get this place cleared out for you.
Great, thank you.
Well, we've got a trio of weeds here. This looks really great. It's asparagus fern, but the minute it gets into the ground, it'll take over. So not only get rid of the bit on the top, but you've got to get rid of the bulbs in the ground as well. They all break off as soon as you start to pull it, and they'll reproduce, and you'll end up with hundreds more. Thanks, Daniel, that's terrific. OK, that'll open up the garden and give a bit of sunlight to the philodendron saloon underneath it. What have we discovered here? A beautiful little buddleia. Now, it needs a lot of TLC, but the real find is this fellow here. This is a lilac. In a garden like this is a real treasure to find. Now, we know it's flower because there's a flower spike there. And, of course, the flowers are large, glorious and fleshy. Now, this is where the mulch from that pine tree comes in handy. Prune, shred, mulch, and it's free. Stop those weeds from coming back and any seeds that might want to come up. Terrific. Belinda and the family have got a backyard that's almost twice its original size. Now it's time to take it to the next level. And that means adding a veggie patch. First things first, we've got to level the area where the garden beds are going. Putting together the planter boxes doesn't get any easier. The boards just slide into the rails and you're ready to go in minutes. Now, these are made out of Calitris, Australian cypress. They are so hardy, really tough, rot-resistant and resistant to white ants or termites. Bit of newspaper down the bottom of these because it's going to just keep the weeds at bay for a little while. This is a good organic veggie and herb mix. Now, because Belinda is sort of new to the veggie scene, and maybe you are as well, here's a great selection to guarantee success. Firstly, in the herbs, chives, parsley, always handy in the kitchen, and of course, thyme. Curry bush, it's got the flavour without the curry tree. It's done a great job with those little chilies. That's a variety called Seville. A lot of people think they look ornamental and you don't touch them, but you can, they're edible.
So they're not spicy?
Not spicy at all.
Excellent.
Now, all the herbs and veggies we've planted are what we call cut and come again. The more we cut them, the more they come again, the more harvest you get. Well, I think all these need now is a little bit of a drink, and many of them are ready to harvest.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Earlier on today, this was a bare, useless spot. Now it's a productive veggie garden right at the back door.
And it looks beautiful.
In fact, the whole garden has really taken on a totally different perspective. I think the kids are really going to enjoy it.
I think so too, they'll love it, absolutely. And I think they're looking forward to having a jump on the trampoline.
That will be, I think, the centre of attraction for quite some time.
No matter the size of your house, the busiest room often happens to be the smallest. The laundry really is the workhorse of the home. It has to house so much gear. You got mops, you got raincoats, gym gear, cleaning products, goodness knows what in there, an old hot water system, laundry basket, washing machine sink, and dryer, all packed in this tight little space. It's all needed, but what I want to do is reconfigure this room and make it work a whole lot better. Doesn't that trolley make it easier too? That's good, I like that. With all the hard work done, you know, taking this room back to bare bones just allows me to see the space and just look at the functionality and what we need. So to discuss design, the lady of the house, hello Julie.
Hi.
For most of us, washing is a chore, but for some with young kids, it is never ending, and that's certainly the case for Julie. What do you think?
It's bigger.
It's bigger.
Yeah, wow. Doesn't look the same at all.
Such a tiny laundry. Big family?
Yes, we're a family of 5, so I'm in here a lot, pretty much every day, and we use it for a lot of different things. Hopefully one day we're going to get a puppy dog, so we're talking about finding a space in here if we can to store a small dog bed as well.
So really it does need to be a multifunctional space, so we need to have lots more storage, up high obviously because you've got littlies.
Yes, yes.
And space for a dog, how
Yes.
exciting. Little dog, big dog.
Little dog.
For our new layout, we're going to move the hot water out, get the dryer up on the wall and move the sink away from the window to allow for much needed bench space, under which will be the dog bed. I'm also going to build a laundry hamper and add shelving. Julie wanted it very plain and simple in here, so I haven't overthought it. I'm just going for plain, simple white. Now, when you paint a laundry room, make sure you use the correct paint. This one is a kitchen bathroom paint, especially designed for high humidity areas. It's a semi-gloss, it'll mean it's nice and easy to wash over and it will resist mildew and mould. When you're painting woodwork, there's no getting away with it. You really do need to sand it first. It's what helps your paint to stick properly. It also takes care of any little loose and flaky bits and gives you a much better paint finish. Now, the other thing that you can do to help your paint have a much better chance of sticking to old woodwork is to use a one-step primer. Now, out of the can, this stuff comes white, but because I'm going to do this whole window frame, this beautiful dark kind of grey-black colour, what I've done is put a little bit of this into my white one-step undercoat. So I've actually made my own tinted undercoat. So all I need to do now is give it a quick lick with this. Once it's dry, I can go on with my dark colour. In the old laundry, Julie was using a wire basket to hold clothes waiting to be washed. But we can do better, a hamper that will tuck under the bench. To build the hamper box, I'm using marine ply. Now, you can buy this off the shelf at Bunnings. It's the kind of plywood that they actually use on boats because it's moisture resistant. The other thing I really like about this is it's got a great grain. So first up, I just need to use a countersink bit and a drill. That's so that when I fix it together, I'll have a nice neat job. For handles, I've just cut out a couple of semicircles. To fix the box together and to support the base, I'm just using pine timber battens. Now, the spacing of those will allow for caster wheels, which is going to make the whole unit portable. Starting to take shape, and you can see here now that these battens, they help to strengthen the base of the box, and they also serve another purpose. They'll hold the base panel. This could go in and this would just be a fixed unit and would sit under the bench, but because I want it to be portable, I'm just adding these caster wheels. Now, when you're buying wheels, you can either get the swivel type or you can get the inline type. Because I want this to go straight under the bench and straight out again and not wobble around, I'm using the inline type. So just screw these on and then you can sit the whole base panel in place. of the beautiful things about plywood is this layered effect you get on the edges, especially when you cut it. If you want to stain this and keep that layered effect, just mask up like I've done here. Now, using this beautiful colour called oolong, I'm just painting it on and wiping it off very gently with a damp rag. So always go in the direction of the grain, a little bit at a time before it has time to dry. And you can see that it doesn't create a solid colour effect. It just gives you a beautiful stain. Once that's dry, a coat of varnish should protect it. With that old hot water system gone, it's given us so much more room in here. And it's not coming back because Julie has had an instantaneous gas hot water system fitted to the other side of the wall, so it's going to be a whole lot neater. Now, to reconfigure the room, what I've done is actually had a plumber and a sparky come in here just to move things around. So instead of the old sink being over here, I've had the taps moved to over here. So this is where the sink will be relocated. And at the same time, I've also had the sparky put a power point up here for the dryer, one down here for the washing machine, and also a handy one over here for the iron. The floor, well, that does need taking care of. I could paint it, but instead what I've chosen to do is add loose lay vinyl. Great for the puppy dog coming along. It's nice and soft and warm underfoot, and it can be easily cleaned. I do think though it is a good idea to add an edge strip at the doorway. That way it'll stop it from kicking up and it holds it down nice and firmly. Go. Happy? Ripping out the old laundry has meant that I've now got all of these uneven surfaces to deal with. Normally I'd suggest tiling, but in this case I think there's a much faster and easier way. You can buy acrylic splashback material by the length from Bunnings. It comes in 2.6 metre length, it's less than $300 and comes in heaps of great colours. Now the best thing about it is it's a DIY product. You can cut it yourself with a jigsaw. So it's great if you want to shape it around window frames, around PowerPoints, and not only for a splashback, you can use it around the whole room. Shelves are an ideal storage solution in a laundry. So these ones, I used the offcuts from the hamper box just to whip up just some very narrow shelves so they tuck in neatly here next to the window. And the way I've treated them is exactly the same way as I did the hamper box. I've painted the little brackets here and stained the shelf itself, just leaving that edge. It's just a nice design detail and it takes that colour through. I've installed a hanging rail, great for airing damp washing and for hanging ironed clothes. This has worked out so well. The bench is a triumph. By getting rid of that clunky old sink and moving it over here, we've still got a great sink, only it's half the size. Very practical and it's a real space saver. And another thing I really love are these little pops of colour that are incredibly practical too. Well, it took a little bit of work, but with some colour, I think this laundry has scrubbed up nicely. Let's see what Julie thinks.
Wow, it's huge. I can't believe the size of it. It's amazing, I love it. So much better than what we had. I'll enjoy doing washing.
You really did say that? Did you hear that? Julie will enjoy doing the washing.
No, it's great, it's huge. I feel like it's such a better use of space. It's really good.
Well, enjoy it.
Thank you.
If I can ever say enjoy doing the washing, but it's certainly a lovelier space to be, isn't it?
It is, it's awesome. Thank you.
Enjoy, well thank you, enjoy. It's the nothing space that is neither here nor there. It's kind of too small to do anything with, so just ends up being the dumping ground, and it is a real hassle to clean up. I'm sure we can all relate. Well, Mark and Alice, they have an area just like that. They've called me in to lend a hand and see what I can do with it. Hi. Morning. Morning, guys.
Hello, Tara.
Nice to meet you, Mark. Hello, Alice.
Hello, hi.
What a beautiful space you've created here.
We just went the easy path and just chose white for everything because everyone says vivid white is
The new beige, isn't it?
It's the thing. But you know, we always liked colour.
What about this room? Do you think this would be better used as maybe like a window seat, something to utilise all of this gorgeous light? So maybe it could be kind of like a seat, like a window seat with storage underneath. Would that
I think
work?
it would make better use of the space.
Yeah, I think so. All right, okay, I've got lots of ideas. These guys look like they're about to finish breakfast and head off to school. You guys head off to work, and I'll get to work.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So my plan is to create a book nook. That's somewhere to sit and read. Custom-built seating can be incredibly expensive, but not if you make it yourself. Now, if you're wondering about the height, here's a good tip. Just grab a stool or a seat from around your place and measure it just to the top. You'll see it usually comes in at around 440 up to about 450. Now, by using a base cabinet, just a flat pack will do, you can see you've already got 290 in there. It does need feet. These cabinets these days come with adjustable feet, which is perfect. It means that you can take up the slack just by spinning that around, and if you're on the taller side you can make them even higher. Now do remember to factor in your mattress material at the top, that's that padding. That way you'll have the perfect bench seat that you've built yourself. Up she goes. Now because we've got a slightly wider wall at this end, we can fully utilise that. So the bench seat will actually run at a slight angle. It will make one end of the window seat slightly wider, a bit more like a sofa. Now this to me is the perfect area to introduce some colour. So we can do that with paint. I'm going to go for 2 different shades of blue here. For the side walls, a slightly lighter blue. This one is called Antarctica Lake. And then just for the back wall, one of my all-time favourites has to be duck egg blue. It's a light it's a greeny blue, but very easy to live with. Now, if you do struggle with colour, you know a really easy way to do it is just grab yourself a project guide. They do all the work for you in these sorts of things. So if you just flick through, you can find a palette that you like this one. These 2 colours are in here, and you can be pretty much guaranteed that all of these colours will work harmoniously together. So let's get started. I think we'll do the side walls first, do the backdrop, and then we can start building. If the idea of painting an entire room seems just a little bit daunting, I mean, let's face it, it's a big job for a weekend. Take heart, because it's amazing what a huge difference just a little bit of colour can make. Now, obviously it's made it easier for me here because Alice and Mark already had these walls freshly painted in crisp white, but by adding this bluey green to the end of the room, you know, it's going to entirely lift the space. This is a very doable thing at home. Feature walls, well, they're still in, but by wrapping them around a little further, it's just going to make it feel cosy and so relaxed here. This is such a busy space. It leads onto the laundry, the kitchen, the swimming pool, and it's also the dining room. So it's important that I use the right paint. This one is antibacterial and it's also wash and wear with stain resistance. So it's going to stand up well to those creative little hands. Then just clamp and screw the base units together. Batten around the 3 sides will actually take the weight of the bench top itself, for which I'm using plywood. I really like the colour and I also like the grain. You can buy it in different thicknesses, but to have 30mm at the front would be really expensive and it's hard to find. So we're cheating a little bit, we're doubling it up at the front and using another strip as a packer at the back, and then the top itself goes on. Nice. Some drawer runners and these funky handles are going to complete the hidden storage under my book nook. The walls are painted and most of the cabinetry is in, but not everything you own has to be tucked away. Sometimes it's actually nice to have things out on display, things like your special books. So for that, I'm building 2 bookcases with a difference. They start by using pine. Now you can buy this off the shelf from Bunnings, and you need a main spine. Now that's what's going to hold all of the shelves together. So a very simple construction. This is really, really easy and it looks neat too. What I'm using is my jigsaw just to check out notches all the way up. Now this allows each of the shelves to be fitted into place. So that's the main support. Now for the shelves, it's pretty much the same process, only you can see that I've checked out slightly wider. And the way it all goes together is the shelves just slot in like so. Now to make it really stable, you will need to glue and screw from behind, but as you can see, it's a very simple construction, really neat and tidy. Often it's the smallest things that count, and this again proves that you don't need to paint everything to make a huge difference. Just an edge strip of the same colour I used on the wall really does lift these shelves. You could do this on shelves you already have at home. Little things make all the detail. If I'd have used brackets for all of these shelves, I'd have holes all over the wall, but by having this backbone, it's really great because it not only looks good, but it means I only need 3 screw holes, which is pretty cool because it's not going to damage the wall that much. And if Alice and Mark ever decide to take it down, it's a very easy fix. Lost two of the power points that are sort of buried below this window seat, but there is a handy alternative. We can make holes in the top so we can actually still use the power points. You can buy these neat plastic cable tidy ducts, I guess they're called. You can just pop the outside in like that, and that neatens off the splintery edges. Then it's in with the power cord. You can just about reach it in there. Flick that on, and then what happens is this holds that cable neat and tidy over the top. Our windows, well, they don't have a window sill, which is a bit of a shame above a window seat because it's a lost opportunity for somewhere to put your cup of tea, maybe a book or even a pot plant. So I'm going to make some very simple sill shelves. I'm using the same pine as I use for the bookshelves. All you need to know here is to make sure that when you nail it off, it is really square. So you can do that by using this tool, which is called a square. I'm using a nail gun, it's a bit of a toy, but you know, if you haven't got one of these, a hammer and nails will do. To fill the holes so they're kind of invisible, I'm just using this water-based wood filler. Once it's dry, you'll never know they're there. Now you can see I've actually only made a short windowsill shelf. If you times this by 3, it means you can move them around. Just gives you a bit more flexibility. Just going to try this out for size. Now, the idea here is having it wider means you can kind of sit up at this end and lean, but unfortunately it's not very comfortable leaning against this bookshelf. So, by having a backrest, it actually enables you to have something to lean against, and I thought we could actually pin this to the shelf. You could have square, you could have rectangular, but by having the circular, it just kind of breaks up all of these hard lines. And the great thing too is, by having that there, you can still access what's behind it. It's kind of a neat solution. Once that's on, I'm going to pad it. I think that's going to look fantastic. To pad this bench, I could have gone for the traditional option, which is foam padding, but you know, this is such a high wear area. This is acoustic paneling. You can find it from the hardware store. We normally use it on walls or as like a pinboard behind a desk, but used here with this self-adhesive foam on the back, it makes an incredibly durable cushioned padding which they can take outside and brush down. I think it's a really great solution and it looks good too. From a dark little corner that was pretty underutilised and frankly looked very unloved to the most amazing little destination in this room. This wasn't a major makeover, but doesn't it look amazing? I absolutely love the colours, I love all the storage. There's plenty of seating here for the whole family. I reckon this is something they'll enjoy for years to come. It's a great makeover for a modern family. Now I'm hoping that the inspiration from this little makeover will carry through to this whole house. It's something that Alice and Mark desperately need to keep going with this renovation.
One of the things that I love about a great garden is that it's not just that it's pretty to look at. It can also be a really magical place where you can let your imagination run wild. Being immersed in a garden can also make you feel really good. It nourishes the heart and the soul. It's amazing what you can find in a garden.
Hello, Melissa.
Hey, Ed.
How are you?
Good, good.
I'm just picking some herbs for tonight's dinner.
Oh, sounds all right. I hope I'm invited.
Always. How cool is this place?
This place is amazing, such an oasis.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And I tell you what, you're going to love this project because you're a big kid.
Yes.
Our location is this community garden project in the Sydney suburb of Laylaw Park.
This fantastic project is open to everyone and is run by over 100 local volunteers and members.
Including Graham Somerset.
Ah, this must be Graham.
Yes. Hi, Graham.
Oh, hi there.
Hi, thanks for having us. Gosh, what an oasis, right?
This is gorgeous place, Graham.
Yeah, thanks. It is, yeah.
So how do people use it?
You know, our vision really is to create a beautiful community space that involves gardening, people growing healthy food and people eating healthy food. So it's intergenerational. In fact, the garden really started very much as a kid-focused thing, sort of in the early years. And of course, as the garden grows, what we find is that kids actually hide, you know, they find little spaces, they find little nooks and crannies.
Sounds like we couldn't have picked a better spot for a secret garden.
But first, we need to clear out the spot we've chosen. Now, Graham told me he had some junk back here, so I'm here to check it out, but I don't think it's all junk. Have a look at these window frames. I can definitely use them. And these old fence palings will be perfect for a secret door to get into our gardens. But I've got my eye on these tree stumps. Look at that. We need to create a path. We want the kids to be enticed into this garden. And I think if I cut these up into discs, it will work perfectly. Just need to find myself a chainsaw.
Now, I love a little bit of quirky garden art, and I picked up these cages, bird cages in different colours that I'm going to turn into planters. So just start by removing the top, and then we're going to line it with a little bit of sphagnum moss. So I've just soaked this in a little bit of water, so just squeeze that water out. So we're lining it with sphagnum moss so that we've got somewhere to put the potting mix. And I'm just going to put it a little bit high up the side there, just to give me some planting space. When you're turning anything into a planter, the most important thing is to make sure that it drains. So this one's got some slits in the side, but if you need to, drill some holes in the bottom. I'm going to have a little bit of fun by matching the colour of my bird cage to the flowers and the foliage. So I've got some beautiful celosia here, which is just so wonderfully childlike and brightly coloured, so it'll go at the highest point of the bird cage. Then I'm going to include some purple foliage. For contrast, some wonderful dichondra silver falls. And then I had to include these. These are the beautiful miniature cyclamen, which look like they've stepped out of the pages of a child's fairy book.
I'm just laying out these discs and making sure that I've got a comfortable stroll down the path. You can picture the kids jumping from stump to stump. Once I'm happy with the layout, I'm just going to lift them up, I'll bed them into some sand, and then with the offcuts, I'll infill all the blank areas.
I've been playing around with different styles of planters. So here's a nice whimsical idea for our secret garden. So what I've done is I've just picked up an old pair of boots and I'm going to plant them out with succulents. Now you might want to look for a pair that has a few holes in it just to allow for drainage, and use a good cacti and succulent potting mix. Now succulents are really good for this type of project because they're tough as old boots and they don't require a lot of planting space. Okay, so I've used some echeverias and some rosette-type succulents, and then I've got some
Melissa.
Adam.
I was wondering where we work boots. What have you done to me work boots?
Just got a few extra holes in them. You'll be fine. Haven't you got a wall to build?
How am I going to get my foot in that?
Just have your toes poking out the top.
I actually like that. That's beautiful.
No, as I was saying, I've also used some sedum gold mound and some sedum jelly beans. It's a great name. The kids will love it.
Perfect. All those little goodies that we found earlier, like the window frame and the cladding for the door, this is where they're going to go. We've just made up this frame and connected it to these posts. This square here will be for the window, and this one here will be for the door to the secret garden. And that's what I'm going to do first, make the door. The way the door will work, this is going to be the length of it, and then to hold all these slats together, we're just putting these battens out, one at the ends and one in the centre. But once we've hung it, we need to stop that lateral movement, so I'll be adding in a couple of cross braces too. With the door complete, I've just had Daz here putting in the jambs for me. So we've got somewhere to hinge our door to and somewhere to sit the window in. But before we do that, we've got a heap of cladding here. We need to get it on the wall.
This is coming together beautifully.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? It's actually perfect timing by you because I've got some buckets over there and you can help me put the mulch
Bad
down.
timing, you mean? No worries, I'll get stuck in. You make the mess, I'll clean it up.
We're only halfway through. There's much more to come on this makeover. You like that?
Out come the dad jokes.
I didn't cut up all the stumps. I saved some of them, like this one here. Well, it has moss on it, and that just adds to the mystery of our secret garden. Now, I'm going to be turning this into a table, so this will be the leg, and for the top, I've just got some marine ply that I'm going to cut into a circle. cut 2 tops and I'm just laminating them together. That way we end up with a nice thick edge. And to finish it off, I'm going to be spraying the edge in some copper spray paint. Then I'll screw it down to our stump and lay some turf on top.
I've been rummaging through Adam's offcuts and I've come up with a cute idea to install a magical mirror in the garden. Now, mirrors are fantastic in a garden. They make the space appear bigger, they can make it appear lighter, and you also get some lovely borrowed views. So what I've done is I've just picked up a mirror straight off the shelf and I've cut a bit of marine ply to size to form the backing. And then just so the mirror doesn't break easily, but also to add a bit of texture and interest to the design, I'm going to put this rusted metal grate over the top of it. And then Adam has been nice enough to knock up a frame for me. I'll drill some screws in the side and it'll be ready to place in our garden.
When Melissa and I first met Graham, he was telling us that the kids love the nooks and crannies in these gardens. So we thought that this area here is the perfect spot. I've just created a door exactly the same as the other one with the bracing, but the only difference is this one, I've got a curve on it. Now, there's 2 ways to hinge it. I could have it here and we've got an exposed post, but we want to hide the post, so I'll actually be moving the door over, hinging it on the side. So it's just this beautiful rustic door you see.
This is.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got a mirror for you. Where do you want to put it?
Oh, look at that. What do you think? Somewhere around here?
Oh, yeah, perfect.
That way they capture themselves as they walk in.
Yeah, and I love your little setting. Looks really good.
It's great.
So you can see in the background here, I've used a beautiful celosia called Dragon's Breath, just for its sheer blazing colour. But take a look at these gorgeous plants here. This is a new breed of chrysanthemum called Tough Mums. So they're designed for outdoor use, which means you can plant them en masse just like this, or you can use them in pots and containers. And take a look at this plant. You could not possibly get one more flower on it. It's absolutely smothered in flowers from summer right through to autumn. So just pick a sunny pocket in the garden and it will reward you with flowers year after year.
Feel the power inside.
Now, I don't know about you, but I always remember being attracted to certain flowers as a kid. Like, do you ever remember squeezing the snapdragons to make them raw? Or going around and popping all of your mum's fuchsia buds? I think it's always really nice in a garden like this to include some of those fun flowers. I also really like the faces on pansies. And because we're looking at introducing lots of colour, one of the best ways to do that is with instant colour pots. And if you go for some of those cool season bedding plants like your pansies, you can have colour in the garden from autumn all the way through to spring.
All right, Melissa, I've got no idea what I'm carrying, but it does look beautiful.
It does. Let's put it near the entrance here, Ads.
Where do you want it up
Yeah,
there?
just in here.
All right.
You ready to lift again?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
That's nice and light. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's what you're looking at is one of the beautiful dragon gingers.
Wow.
Yeah,
right.
so it's an ornamental ginger. Isn't that unique?
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and because it only gets to just over ½ a metre tall, perfect for pots in a shady spot.
Oh, come in. Graham, perfect timing, mate. Welcome to the secret garden.
What do you think?
Wow.
Are the kids going to come flocking to this garden or what?
Isn't this just so amazing? Such a beautiful place you guys have created here. This is just something that really sort of fits our vision, you know what I mean, of creating this beautiful community space that engages kids, brings people in.
Yeah,
focal point for community, yeah.
That's exactly what it's about. So keep up the good work, Graham, because we're blown away as soon as we walk through these gardens. So,
Absolutely beautiful.
And thank you for having us.
Definitely.
Thank you for being here.
What kid wouldn't want their own adventure playground in their backyard?
True, this is all a bit grim right now, but I can see heaps of potential.
So with the help of our little friends, we're going to bring the scene alive with, yep, you guessed it, the Smurf Village. Over here, we're going to make a kids climbing platform, which will have a lower level and a higher level. I'll just mark out the lower one. And over here, underneath this trunk, I'm going to be making a Smurf cubby. Now, this isn't going to be any ordinary cubby. It's going to be out of this world. First off, I'm building the climbing platform. I'm just digging some holes, and you just want to make sure when you're working so close to a tree that you pick a spot in between the roots. That way you don't damage them. Instead of concreting these posts in, I've decided to sit them on a sole plate. That way we're not putting any concrete around this existing tree, so there's no chance of damaging it. Once these posts are in place, we can attach the bearer.
Now we just need to knock up the lower platform for our climbing frame. Let's hope it fits.
Okay, we're ready to start laying our decking boards. Now, usually we lay them at right angles to our joists, which means that our end grain only overhangs on 2 perimeters. But in this case, I want our end grain to go all around the edge. That way I can cut an organic shape. So I'm going to be laying them on a 45-degree angle, and that makes for a pretty cool feature as well. All right, we've got the boards down and the boys have marked out their shape. So I'm just going to use a jigsaw to cut it out. You want to make sure that your boards overhang the frame by around 100 mil. To make our climbing platform even more interesting, I'm putting in an upper deck. And to join them together, I'm just making a simple step ladder out of 90x45 treated pine. And out of the 2 sides, you'll notice that I've just checked out the timber. That way, it houses into the top deck and fixes in place nicely. All right, now our frame's secure in place, I can get on to putting the deck up here as well. This is going to be great. The kids are going to absolutely love it. As you can see on the ladders, I've just left the 2 sides nice and long so the kids have something to grab onto as they get up on this top deck. To create some access to our platforms, we're putting in a suspension bridge. Because we're far enough away from the tree, I'm going to be concreting these posts in, which will make it nice and sturdy, and we won't be damaging the roots. The final piece to this jigsaw is this frame, which will allow us to attach a slide later on. Now, this climbing platform's all together, there's only one thing left to do, and that's to give it a coat of paint. And in the Smurf Village, there's only one colour it can be. Now, this play area is definitely starting to take shape. There we go. I think the kids are going to absolutely love this. I wish I was a kid again. The blue's looking great, Jace. All right, now we're on to making the main frame for our cubby.
And to start, we need a stalk for the toadstool. So that means bending some ply that will go into these slots.
Now, obviously, if you've got timber that's 45 mil thick, you can't use this method of bending. But basically, we're using 3 mil ply, and as you can see, it just goes into the channels. And I'm going to glue and build it up as we go. For this project, I'm using 3 sheets, but you can keep on going till you get the thickness that you desire. Now, you don't have to be making a cubby house to use this method of bending. You might want to make a unique bit of furniture, like a coffee table. To get the shape you want, you can change it by adding these timbers on the side and one across the top, and that allows us to push down and clamp it in place. Also, the opening size, I've made it smaller than what we want. That way, when we take it out of our template, it will spring into shape. So we're just going to unclamp it. Then I can get onto painting it and cutting out some shapes. Here comes the bottom half of a toadstool. Now, the shell of the cubby's in place, so I can get on to making the roof. Now, it's not a conventional roof as such because it is going to be open. Basically, I'm making 5 vertical panels that are going to be shaped like the top of a toadstool. And they're progressively going to get smaller as I work my way to the front. All right, boys, let's get this capped off. So hopefully at the end, it's going to give the look of a 3-dimensional roof. All right, Scotty. Beautiful. That's what I call a cubby with a difference.
Well, we've got the plants, we've got the space. So I thought we'll create a bit of a forest of our own, right over here. And I tell you what, I'm not a gardener, but I think we're doing a pretty good job. All that's left to do is mulch.
How good is this adventure playground? It's amazing what you can achieve in your backyard, and you're only limited to your imagination. There's only one thing left to do, and that's for some real-life Smurfs to give this a go. Come on, kids, it's all yours. To be a kid again. Now that's what I call a magical backyard.